Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with the Middle-earth strategy battle game. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Rivendell faction from the army, the High Elves. Now we're going to talk about the army bonus and how this affects the rest of the army. We'll then take a look at a couple of units we recommend to get started with for your Rivendell army. We'll then take a look at some other units we can use to expand upon after those first couple of initial purchases, and finally finish off the video with a little sample 300 point army list for you to use and some inspiration for starting your own Rivendell army. And so, to start with, the army bonus, Tangara Hai Lethio Ifilin. I'm pretty sure I absolutely butchered that Elvish, but, you know, Tolkien created his entirely own language for the elves, which is pretty sweet. But whilst within 6 inch of the army's leader, friendly Rivendell models may reroll failed hit rolls when making shooting attacks in a turn in which they did not move. So this is pretty cool. This just gives us a nice cool bow ability for the army. Really fun stuff. Just a solid, decent ability straight out the get-go that's going to make, you know, our elven bows even better. Our bows are pretty good. Our warriors are pretty good all around. Now, looking at where to get started, I couldn't not say get started with Elrond, the Master of Rivendell. First of all, he has a fantastic new miniature that's coming for him, so you can definitely find a great Elrond miniature. So, first of all, another cool bonus he brings to the force is if your army contains Elrond, then Rivendell Knights do not count towards your bow limit. This is really cool, allowing you to take cavalry with the bows and ignore that bow limit. Now, he has 5 value 6, shoot 3+, strength 4, defense 5, 3 attacks, 3 wounds, and courage 7, and 3 points of each might, will, and fate. His war gear is Hadhafang and Vilya. Now, Hadhafang is an elven-made hand and a half sword. Additionally, Elrond gets +1 to wound spirit models when making strikes with it. Elrond, the Master of Rivendell, as well, thanks to Vilya, his ring may reroll his dice when using fate points. His heroic actions available to him are resolve, channeling, strike, and defense, and he's got the options to take heavy armor and a horse as well. Now, you can also get the Terra and Woodland Creature special rules as well, and he's got the Foresight of the Eldar passive rule as well. Before the game begins, you roll a d6 and make a note on the result. These are Elrond's Foresight points for the battle during the priority phase. After the dice has been rolled, Elrond may choose to expend these Foresight points to alter the controlling player's dice roll. For each Foresight point expended, you may either modify the dice score of the priority roll by +1 or -1 to a minimum of 1 and 6. Now, he's got the magical powers, Wrath of Ruthin and Renew there as well. For 170 points, he does bring an awful lot to the table for your High Elf force. Of course, with him, we're going to be wanting to bring some Warriors of Rivendell. Now, they have heavy armor and elven-made hand and half sword standard, and you get a bunch of different options for them, being able to take bows, spears, shields, and they can also take banners and warhorns as well. The banner being particularly important for your force. Now, you've got the Woodland Creature special rule, as you will expect with elves, but they've also got 5 value of 5, 3+ on the shoot value, defense 5, strength 3, 1 attack, 1 wound, and courage 5. A really solid stat line for which is essentially your baseline troops for the army. Looking at where to go next, and well, the other unit option we've got is Rivendell Knights, and of course we're going to talk about them because Elrond will make the bow limit be ignored for them. So, heavy armor, lance, elven-made hand and a half sword, elf bows, and a horse, all standard, expert rider and woodland creature there, enabling them to pass all ride tests, to move through forests with no penalties. They can take warhorns, banners, and shields on them as well. 5 value 5, defense 5 on cavalry is just super, super nice. Now, we want to look at some of the other heroes, and I think for me, well, another brand new miniature coming out for the elves that I think is just a fantastic hero is Glorfindel, the Lord of the West. First of all, 5 value 7. Defense 5. Straight away, that's just amazing. He's got an elven-made hand and a half sword. He's got heroic actions, resolve, strike, strength, and challenge. He's really good at fighting other heroes. He can take the armor of Gondolin and Asphaloth as well. The armor of Gondolin is heavy armor. Additionally, whilst wearing the armor of Gondolin, monster models may not target Glorfindel with brutal power attacks. Now, Asphaloth is a horse with a move value of 12 rather than 10. Additionally, whilst riding, the rider gains the Fleetfoot special rule as well. On top of that, he has Expert Rider, Horse Lord. He also causes terror as well because his reputation of being such an amazing fighter is so great. And he's got the Woodland Creature. Now, he's got the Lord of the West ability as well, and the Unbending Resolve ability, which is he will always count as having the Fortify Spirit magic power cast on him. This is always in effect even if his will is reduced to 0. And the Lord of the West ability will allow him to reroll a single d6 when making a dual roll. Additionally, they can reroll a single d6 when rolling to wound. Looking at some more minor heroes to bring in, I like Rindir of Rivendell. Now, he's a fun character to bring, especially if you've got Elrond near him, because his Wise Counsel rule will, while he's within 6 inches of Elrond, then Elrond may expend a single point of will each turn without reducing his own store, even if it has none remaining. And all friendly Rivendell models within 6 inches of Lindir gain the resistance to magic special rule. On top of that, he's got the Woodland Creature, like all elves, and he carries an Elven Made Sword. He can take heavy armor and a horse. Now, the last one to talk about is Cyrodiil. For me, he's just got a ton of magical powers, Aura of Command, Blinding Light, Enchanted Blades, and Aura of Dismay. And he can also spend a single point of will each turn without reducing his own store of 1, 4, and 1 with Might, Will, and Fate there. Now, he's got Resistant to Magic, Terror, and Woodland Creature special rules as well. He is unarmed, however, but does get Heroic Channeling and Heroic Resolve. And so here we have our sample army list. We've got Elrond the Master of Rivendell, and he's just going to be on a horse. Now, you can try and fit in the points for his heavy armor in there if you want, but he was already defense 5, which is pretty solid. The fact he's a good fighter as well, I don't think we're really going to need it at small points values, though worth having a look at seeing if you can fit it in. Now, his warband is going to contain 5 High Elf warriors. 1 of them has a bow, 3 of them have spears and shields, and the other one is carrying the banner. We then, rounding out his force, are just going to have 2 Rivendell Knights, stock standard there, giving us 7 warriors and 3 bows, though 2 of them don't count towards our bow limit. So we've technically only got 1 bow used up in our bow limit. This is a rather elite force. Elves are always going to be elite in the Middle-earth strategy battle game, but with Elrond there, it's definitely, being a little bit more elite. You could go with Glorfindel if you're looking for a cheaper hero. He will save you a few points and get you a couple of extra characters, but you might not be taking Glorfindel's things like the Armor of Gondolin and stuff like that. Or you could look at someone like Arwen Evenstar potentially to bring into the force, or a generic High Elf Captain if you're looking to try and save some points. I think though at 300 points, Elrond will be fine. You'll definitely get a lot of mileage out of him and his warriors, and especially those Rivendell Knights. If you've been playing with a Rivendell in the Middle-earth strategy battle game, let us know how you've been going and what you would do down in the comments below. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And also, drop us a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so on our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. If you'd like to help support the channel more, you can do so either by Patreon or YouTube members, or going to our Teespring store, all of which are linked down in the video's description as well. As a special thank you to our patrons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So, a special Patreon shout out to Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Aaron Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek Bloobs, Benjamin Suarez, and Red Martin. And as thank you to our YouTube members as well, Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny 84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink, Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, and Davis Wire. Special thanks also to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel, like you can see pictured here on this slide. Thank you once again for watching, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.